welcome to this walkthrough of various repositories in the Property Data Trust Framework organization. The Property Data Trust Framework is managed by the Open Property Data Association, which is UK's independent industry body for companies revolutionizing the property industry through data collaboration. Through working groups and collaborative efforts, members work together to define and refine standards that ensure interoperability, data quality, and transparency. For this walkthrough, we are going to focus on the API and the schema repositories. So in the API repository, it contains the version open API spec for the property data trust framework schemas for digital residential property data exchange in England and Wales. The API is specified using the open API standard and in accordance with RESTful principles. Mutability of the property data or historical claims is not permitted. Claims can only be added and the resulting property data state be queried. The API itself is versioned using semantic versioning. It's likely that the APIs could change, but we aim to evolve them in a backwards compatible way, and even when they do break, allow members enough time to migrate to the new version. So as you can see here, we have kind of gone through 2 iterations of the schema of the API spec, and if I open the latest spec at the moment, we can see it's a open API specification standard spec, and then you can copy this spec and then load it into a Swagger editor or any of your local IDEs, and you can see a visual view of the APIs that we have shown. These APIs are meant to be a reference for people who expose the schemas as well as consumers of the schemas to act as a common standard for everyone adopting the property data trust framework. So we have APIs to kind of create a transaction to represent the property being exchanged. Then you can search the transactions using UPRN and or status. You can get the latest view of the transaction, which can be in JSON or HTML format. But this is the interesting part here. So if you want to now add a claim about a property against a specific transaction, you can do that through the post claims API. And in terms of the body that we pass in here, we'll cover this as part of our schema repository walkthrough. But you can add in verified claims here. You can give some information about the property and then optionally any evidence for that claim. The same information can be queried using the transaction get claims API. There are also APIs to allow consumers to subscribe to any changes that are happening against a specific transaction. So servers who are providing this webhook should ensure timely updates and make limited attempts at retries in case the callback URL does not respond. And then there's also a endpoint to unsubscribe from any updates if required. So that's the API repository. The standard way to contribute to this is to raise an issue. If you think anything is missing, or if you want to propose changes, then raise a pull request, and the pull request should be approved by a member of the PDTF who does not belong to your organization. So that's it for the API repository. Thank you.